Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have the latest from the live radar, run for the UKV, have a look at the precipitation and the temperature over the next 5 days. So it's going to remain pretty unsettled throughout the next 5 days with plenty of heavy showers and even some thunderstorms in places, but it hopefully is going to be turning a little bit warmer as we do see that wind direction veer from more of a west to southwesterly instead of a northerly or northwesterly like we've had for much of this week. As we head into the longer range, we are still seeing signs of it being reasonably unsettled in the short to medium range. But once again, the GFS and even the GM today showing higher pressure potentially building into the final week or so of the month. And especially the GFS brings in a very warm air mass indeed, the 15-degree isotherm moving in, and that gives the potential of heatwave like conditions. High 20s or even low 30s if we saw a few consecutive days is very plausible with that sort of air mass. Again, it's nothing completely out of the ordinary. It's not, mid to high 30s like we would sort of be raving about if that were to happen, but it's more of a standard sort of British heat wave, what we're seeing on the latest GFS 12 o'clock run. Again, we saw it 2 days ago, didn't see it yesterday, and we were sort of talking about that yesterday, why we're seeing flip-flopping, and we're seeing it flop back today towards that warmer outcome. It is on the warmer end of the ensemble, so it hasn't got a lot of support, but there definitely is some support for it going warmer and potentially a bit drier into the final week or so of June, just not quite the levels the GFS is going for. But again, we'll have a look at that in the second half of the video. So do remember, if you enjoy my videos, which you like and subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. Now, if you start on the live radar, you can see the showery outlook we have at the moment. We've got a few areas of more persistent showers or rain. First of all, if we look at Scotland, we've got some more persistent rain across northern Scotland here. Doesn't look too heavy, but it is fairly moderate and fairly widespread in northern areas. We've got another area of heavy showers across Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. These far western areas, sometimes it is difficult to say exactly what is happening, as there is pretty poor radar coverage. We again know the rough size and rough positions of precipitation, but it's sometimes difficult to say exactly what is going on compared to areas across England where we have got more accurate radar and more extensive. So that's why it's a little bit distorted here, but regardless, heavy showers around in these areas. And then if we do go into England and Wales, you can see again we've got more areas of heavy showers, maybe even some thunderstorms breaking out there across parts of Yorkshire. And you can see that of course the south of London, also some heavy rain and maybe even a bit of a thundery activity there as well. And between that, across the Midlands, we've got some more persistent but light to moderate rain. So you can kind of see the full shebang of things going on through this evening, but nothing too crazy out there. Plenty of areas are dry, but plenty of areas are seeing rain, thick cloud, and even some thundery activity. Now, you can see across Europe, it's very unsettled, and again, these are the hefty showers breaking out with a warmer air mass there. That is why they are slightly heavier, and you can see as if we put on the temperatures, you can see it's not particularly exceptional this evening across much of the UK, but it is trending back towards average as we do start to clear that colder air mass away. Now, if you do have a look at the latest UKV, you can see those showers earlier today were pretty hefty, and they're starting to peter out this evening, but they'll still be there for the rest of tonight. Still heavy in places, especially near that Irish Sea coast. Some pretty hefty showers there across the northwest of England, perhaps, and North Wales. The showers get going again through tomorrow afternoon. More focus further northwards, but still could be some showers further southwards. And then as we progress into Sunday, some persistent rain across Scotland heading southwards. And then into Sunday afternoon, again, another day of sunshine and showers. Not quite as hefty and as widespread, but still they are there. As we head into Monday, again, some more showers, some of them pretty heavy and thundery, but they don't look too terrible in most areas. As we progress into Tuesday, again, some more hefty showers in places, especially for eastern Scotland, but more drier conditions. So as I said, it is turning slightly warmer and turning slightly drier next week, but still is on the unsettled side of what we can see this time of year. And then into Wednesday, some more hefty showers moving through into the afternoon. So it might not be great there, especially in the morning, but the afternoon it could clear up. Now, do have a look at the upper air temperatures. You can see right now it's hovering around average or slightly below average. There will be some chillier air masses around, but we are going to consolidate more average air masses into early next week. There could be some fresh air there drifting in from the north and the backside of a low, but generally you can see we are staying above freezing the majority of the time at the upper air levels, and we will see plenty of warmer air masses at times. It is going to be up and down, but we are going to be slowly trending back towards average, if not above average, as we head into the into the second half of June, and potentially could be much warmer into the final week or so of June. Now, do look at the max temperatures. You can see earlier today we got the top temperature of the sort of high teens, nothing too crazy, below average for the time of year, but better than earlier this week. Into tomorrow for Saturday, again could see an 18 or 19 in the top spots, but again with showers and cloud it will be cooler. And then as we head into Sunday, again we could see 18 to maybe 20 degrees, all dependent on cloud and rain. And then into Monday, a similar story, maybe slightly higher, more towards 21 or 22. And then into Tuesday, again could see a 20 to 22 there. And then finally into Wednesday, slightly cooler, maybe only 16 or 17. But again, still on a slow upwards trend. It's not going to turn warm and dry overnight, but there's going to be more warmer and drier days in the near to medium future, and hopefully something a bit more persistent into the final week of June. Now, if we do have a look at this GFS run, which is showing some heatwave-like conditions, I do think it's highly unlikely to play out exactly like this, and we'd have to see a lot more support before we say it is going to happen, but it is still interesting nonetheless to see this output at the moment. You can see low pressure is dominating at the moment. High pressure does try and build in over the next sort of week or so, but doesn't have too much success, and there will continue to be some low pressure influence out towards sort of day 8, day 9. But towards day 10 and beyond, look at this, high pressure building up from the south for the final week of June. And not only is it high pressure bringing dry conditions, it's also bringing very warm air mass, which we'll have a look at in a minute. You can see though the high pressure holds on, could see some little troughs developing within that, so that could allow thunderstorms to develop. But if we do run back and have a look at that high pressure building in, you can see that we do see some very warm, if not hot air starting to build in with that. See the 15-degree isotherm moving in, maybe even slightly higher than that. If we do zoom in to the United Kingdom look, you can see the upper air temperatures peaking, perhaps around 18, 17 degrees at 850 HPA. That is very warm, heatwave-like conditions, and temperatures would most likely be getting towards the 30-degree mark, maybe even slightly higher. Again, we're looking at the midday temperatures here, so by sort of 3 or 4 p.m, it will be even warmer than these are showing. So yeah, definitely looks like there could be something very warm on the horizon if this did come off. Up and down the country, mid-20s, maybe even high 20s. And you can see here 30 degrees being shown on the 28th of June. Would be very warm indeed, but we'll have to wait and see, of course, as that is still well out in the future and not too much support, as you'll see from the ensembles at the end of the video. If you look at the GM, there's a bit of support here at day 10. Nowhere near as warm, but it does have that high pressure building in. Low pressure dominating, or at least being nearer and close by over the next sort of week or so. But as we head towards day 10, eventually high pressure builds in as well. And if we look at the upper air temperatures, it is warming as well. Nowhere near as warm as the GFS yet, but we are seeing the 10-degree isotherm move in, and the 15-degree isotherm could follow. And if we do look at the 2 meter temperatures at this point, we are getting into the low to mid-20s. So average to above average, no heat wave, but definitely on a warming trend back towards what we would expect this time of year, if not warmer than what we should expect. So GM looking pretty good as well. Now, if we do compare to the ECMWF, again, low pressure is milling around at the moment. High pressure eventually attempts to build in towards day 10, has a go further southwards, but because of some high pressure towards Greenland, it keeps the jet stream slightly southerly tracked, which means that actually instead of seeing the high pressure build over the top of us, it stays just to our south and absolutely cooks the Mediterranean and much of southern Europe. And you see here temperatures into the mid to high 30s, maybe even 40 degrees in places. And you can see there is a pretty distinct drop off across France, mid to high 30s across southern France, high teens across northern France. And that is because the jet stream is trapping this very hot air from getting northwards, and you can see that the air is getting stuck here. This, you can see the air is very slow moving, kind of doing spirals, and that is the higher pressure with the westerly flow further northwards, and it essentially means that we don't allow that hot air to get towards us. We can see that on a different way by having a look at the jet stream. You can see the jet stream is passing over the UK and northern France, keeping the cool air here to the south, where you can see the slower moving air. That's where all the hot air is. So you can see why it isn't anywhere near as dry and as warm, but subtle differences could bring that very hot air our way. Now, to finish by looking at the latest ensembles, we start on the latest GFS. You can see we're slowly trending towards average, and then we're generally around average, maybe slightly above, as we head into the final 10 days or so of June. The precipitation has definitely dropped in that medium to longer range in the last day or two, and you can see that very, very warm GFS operational run. But you can see it hasn't got a lot of support at all, if I'm being completely honest. There's a few odd runs nearby, but majority are a little bit more modest. So not too much support for it at this stage, but of course someone has got to lead the way. So hopefully this is the GFS leading the way towards something a bit warmer and maybe hotter. If you compare to the ECMWF, you can see it is broadly very similar, trending towards average or slightly above average into the final week or so of June. Bit of a spike in precipitation around 5 or 6 days time. That could be some thunderstorm activity or some more persistent rain, again just outside of the range of the UKV at this stage. You'll have to wait and see for that tomorrow, but you can see there are some very warm runs in the longer